to which my honourable friend referred, and I assure him that at all times I shall take a balanced view of these matters.
Mr. Speaker, the pound has risen against the Deutschmark again. Is the Prime Minister content to see it go on rising?
Mr. Speaker, the right honourable gentleman will complain when the pound goes up and when the pound goes down. The Chancellor will in fact run the economy in such a way that we combine low inflation with good economic growth. He's been extremely successful in that objective and an achievement which totally eluded the opposition.
It's a pity, Mr. Speaker, that the Prime Minister couldn't answer that question. Can she answer this one? Does she recall the Chancellor of the Exchequer saying 2 weeks ago, when the pound was lower than it is now, "I do not want to see the exchange rate appreciate further. It would be unsustainable and damaging for business and industry." Does she agree with that?
Mr. Speaker, I agree that the Chancellor runs the economy extremely well. With low inflation, which honourable members opposite were never able to do, with excellent growth, giving all people in this country a much higher standard of living.
That's all very interesting, Mr. Speaker. Can she give us a straight answer? Does the Prime Minister agree with her Chancellor of the Exchequer?
Yes, sir. We shall continue to run the economy. Yes! For low inflation, excellent growth, which gives a high standard of living, a high standard of social services. And it is that total picture which counts. What a pity the right honourable gentleman can't understand the answers or the economics.
Sir Richard Holt.
May I draw my right honourable friend's attention to the situation today, where the Labour Party in total disarray in Langbath and Red...
Prime Minister's... Well, you may be, but the Prime Minister's not responsible for that.
Will my right honourable friend send a message of support today to the new Conservative Mayor of the Borough of Langbath, the Labour administration having fallen apart with 2 Labour members now voting with the Conservatives?
Join my honourable friend in doing just that and join him in congratulating the Mayor. As the honourable gentleman knows, it is not the practice to comment on lobby briefings.
How come that in the course of many speeches, many broadcasts and many press statements, not once has the truthfulness of the Prime Minister and of Mr. Ingham about the events of January 1986 been endorsed either by the right honourable gentleman, the member for Richmond, or the giant from Henley?
Mr. Speaker, the details have been given many times in this House, and I have nothing further to add to them.
Mr. Cash.
My right honourable friend note today that the Governor's...
Order. I think the honourable gentleman has not looked at the order paper. This is a definitive question. Mr. David Winnick. 5. Number 5.
I refer the honourable gentleman to the reply which I gave some moments ago.
Mr. Winnick.
Is the reason why no replacement was made when Lord Whitelaw resigned as Deputy Prime Minister is that she already has a Deputy Prime Minister, namely her Chief Press Secretary, Mr. Ingham. And while she clearly, Mr. Speaker, has many difficulties in getting on with her Foreign Secretary and the Chancellor of the Exchequer, is it really desirable that the Chief Press Secretary should have more influence in policy matters than any of her Cabinet colleagues?
The honourable member must be hard put to it for a question to ask that one. I note that he cannot find a single thing to criticise in the economy or way the country is run. How very revealing.
Mr. Maxwell Hislop.
If my right honourable friend today, as First Lord of the Treasury, receives a request that the Bank of England Export Credit Guarantee Department should underwrite any deposits required by aspirants for for the job of leader of the Social and Liberal Democrats. Would she please resist it as firmly as she can?
I shall take note of my honourable friend's sentiments.
Mr. Alan Beath.
I refer the honourable gentleman to the reply which I gave some moments ago.
How long will it be? How long will it be before those pensioners who are now paying increased rents but hope to benefit from the government's about turn on the social security changes know for certain that they will benefit, and how long will it be before they get the money?
Well, Mr. Speaker, I think the honourable member, who I hope has an interesting week ahead, will already have in fact received a letter from the Department of Health and Social Security giving details of both a free post and a free phone where any inquiries can be made. He will know that a special unit has been set up in Glasgow to deal with each of these matters, and he will also know the place to which they can apply if they have any queries.
Robin Squire.
Following my right honourable friend's visit to Docklands this week, will she underline from the dispatch box the outstanding achievements in terms of jobs, housing and transport system which that combination of private and public funding has achieved?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I went down yesterday. The result of the London Docklands Corporation is quite outstanding. It's outstanding in the amount of investment that has been made there. Something like £4 billion of private sector investments have been secured. It's outstanding in the number of jobs which that area is providing. There are now 36,000 jobs in Docklands, and the number employed in Docklands have fallen by 15%. It's outstanding in community support, something like £17 million spent on community support. It's outstanding in increased road and rail improvements, outstanding in housing, both in the private sector, and also one notes that a quarter of purchases of new homes on LDC sites were former local council tenants. An outstanding achievement in every way for the record of private enterprise and the imagination of this government and the way in which the whole matter has been administered by the first two chairmen and their deputy chairmen.
Business questions, Mr. Neil Kinnock.